Hello crafty friends and welcome back. Today we are going to be trying out some different types of alcohol ink cardstocks and media. We'll be trying the Tim Holtz alcohol ink cardstock in Silver Sparkle. We'll be trying the Bray Reese waterproof paper, which is a alternative to Yupo paper and available in Hobbycraft. We've got some actual Yupo paper. This is meant to be the best surface for doing your alcohol inking on. We also thought we'd try it on some just plain white cardstock. This is the Nina Classic cardstock from Crafter's Companion. And lastly, we're going to try it on some photo paper. We have tried the alcohol ink on the HB photo paper before, and whilst it did blend and move around, we found it didn't really dry properly and would lift off. So we're going to give it another try today. We're using our new alcohol blending solution by Tim Holtz. The B. Reese one from Hobbycraft, only just a little bit left in that, and the Pinata alcohol inks. We'll be doing it on our multi-surface mat, any kind of non-stick. You could also use your glass mat.
Yeah, it's a Spectrum Noir one.
Spectrum Noir one. We might also use this air duster just to
move it around, helps to disperse it.
Okay, so could you pass us our first paper over?
Our first paper is going to be some Nina cardstock.
Okay.
Which is super recommended really for stamping and using your alcohol ink markers. So we'll just try a little bit.
We'll just grab a colour.
Give it a stir so that a shake so that the not much movement on its own. No, not really much movement so far. Do you agree?
That's with the blending solution.
Try a little bit more blending solution down there.
So as you can see, the colour kind of remains where we put it.
Yeah,
on the
physically move it.
Unless you physically move it with something like an air duster or a straw. So moving on. Okay, this is the Yupo paper.
Yupo paper.
We should see a difference on how the inks move. So we'll just put, same as we done the last time, just put some dots.
Two colours
down. And already you can see how it's starting to disperse. Let's add some. Oh wow, yeah. You can see already.
There's a lot of movement without us physically moving the paper even.
And we had to use a lot less blending solution there compared to the
one drip. See what happens when we use the puffer. Will we need to even?
You won't even need the puffer to move it around because there's so much movement within the actual inks itself on the Yupo. I'm just going to tilt and turn until I cover up some of these white spaces and create some. When you're working with your alcohol inks, please try to do it in a well ventilated area. Doesn't really move as well with the air duster on the Yupo paper.
Created a few cells there, really nice cells. I do like that though. So this is the Tim Holtz, the glitter, the new stock glitter card. It's very smooth to touch but very sparkly. We use the same colours again, and bright yellow.
Oh, it is spreading out. You can see it is moving on that, moving very well. It almost looks gold. The yellow over that, it's turned to gold. Next up is the photographic paper. Again, we'll just stick to the yellow and blue. As you can see, there's no dispersion of the colours. They kind of just sit on top of the kind of plasticky film.
And then some. That was quite a lot.
That was a lot of blending solution. Last but not least, we're going to try the alternative Yupo paper we bought in Hobbycraft. So as you can see, immediately we have some movement and dispersion of the colour. I'll just add the blending solution in. Yep, you can see it's beginning to move really well on this paper. So you can see the benefit of using a paper designed specifically for the alcohol inks. You do get more movement and versatility with the inks and time to play before they dry. And we'll try it again just with our air duster. And the air duster slight, oh, don't like that. The good thing is with alcohol inks you do have time to play, so if you don't like an area you can move the ink or add more ink or add blending solution.
Just add a tiny bit here, Milla, just to see if that can take away that thick part. That's nice, isn't it, where you see the movement?
So here are the examples that we've created to show you. This was the plain white Nina cardstock, and as you can see, where you drop the ink, it remains, it doesn't really move.
It's static, nothing.
And it kind of soaks completely into the cardstock with limited movement. You can achieve movement through using an air duster like we did, or an air blower or straw, or just picking up the paper, but it's very, very difficult to achieve movement on normal cardstock. The next one we tried was the Yupo paper itself.
Wow.
And as you can see, we've got a lot better movement. Obviously it wasn't a scientific comparison, we were just playing with the inks, but I think you'd see from the video that the ink dispersed better, moved and created these fabulous shapes. As I say, we used an air duster, but you can play around and create a lot of different styles and shapes with the alcohol ink cells and things like that.
Same two colours again. Fantastic, I love it. It's really effective.
This one is the photographic paper, and the alcohol inks behave lovely on this. As you've seen, because it has the plasticky coating, they sit on top, allowing you to play around, and using the air duster here we've achieved this beautiful effect. However, the last time we used the photographic paper, we noticed that it didn't really dry well on it and it cracked off, so we'll come back to this at the end to see how well they dry. And then lastly we used the Yupo paper alternative from Hobbycraft, designed for alcohol inks. As you've seen, the inks moved well on it and we got a lovely pattern from it, and that's a comparison from the Tim Holtz Yupo to the normal Yupo, and we also did the shiny Tim Holtz glitter paper. The ink moved beautifully on this, and any colour you put on will end up with a really, really nice
sparkle and shimmer, isn't it, really? And considering we didn't put any green at all, look at the amount of blending. There's only one tiny area of blue here.
So that was just a quick play to show you, in just using these two colours and some blending solution, the effects you can achieve using different sorts of medium. So we'll let these dry and come back to them and do a review, but now we'll get the inks out and have a little play. We're going to compare the blending solutions and isopropyl alcohol just to see the comparison, all on the Yupo paper. So single drop of ink. So here are the results. We didn't use the air duster, hair dryer or heat tool to move the ink. We just left it to do its business.
We just left it in situ.
The first blending solution, a Tim Holtz blending solution, and the isopropyl alcohol. A lot of people say not to use isopropyl alcohol, to stick to the blending solutions, but I actually prefer the effects that you get with the isopropyl alcohol, and it's really handy, as you can see in the spray bottle, to give a spray bleached effect over your finished projects. If I show you on this piece of paper here, if we spray it with the alcohol, it creates a fantastic effect very, very quickly. And it's just isopropanol cleaning fluid. It's for cleaning printers and things like that. I got it from Amazon. And as you can see, it gives a great bleaching effect.
Could be the dispenser, the spray bottle.
But be careful, never spray your blending solution, because your blending solution contains some sort of wax or solution that's very harmful and sticks to your lung. So never spray your blending solution, only the isopropyl alcohol, and make sure you're doing it in a very well ventilated area and avoid getting breathing in any of the fumes.
Well, this is us the following day. It's had a long time to settle and dry. We found the first time we tried some of the papers and alcohol inks that we had to coat them because they never dried and they kept transferring onto our hands. So let's have another look. The Nina card hasn't changed at all, no transfer, but you can see where it's pulled and stayed static from when we dropped it on at first. The glitter Yupo card, fantastic, gives a super shine in real life, feels fantastic and no transfer whatsoever. The plain Yupo, fantastic effects and super smooth and dry with really a matte finish, beautiful, stunning. And this is the alternative to the Yupo paper, the waterproof paper that we showed earlier, and this gives a wonderful finish.
No transfer?
No transfer, no, not at all. And remembering that we only used the two colours. This is the photo paper that some people might have found. This feels slightly more textured and rougher, not as smooth as the rest, but certainly no transfer, not tacky. It'd be great to use in a project.
And here's another example on because the camera cut out earlier when we were showing you the Tim Holtz. So here's another example with some more colours, just so you can see how this paper looks with different colours and different types of alcohol inks on it. It's got a lovely sheen, a nice opaqueness to it, and it's a lovely cardstock for using with the alcohol inks, and we enjoyed playing with it and look forward to exploring it further.
And it does change the shade, it alters the shades of the alcohol inks quite remarkably. It gives muted shades and feels lovely.
Any transfer?
No transfer whatsoever, no. Excellent. When we had a super one, because the paper comes in a nice size, it's super for a card front, and any areas that didn't absorb or take the ink, it leaves you with a shimmer, so you're not then left with a plain white area in the background. You're still left with this shimmer. So I hope you found that useful, and just really it is worth paying the extra bit of money at times when you want a cardstock to perform really for what it's made for.
And just a quick crafty tip before we go. If you are planning on doing alcohol inking, please wear a pair of gloves. We did look them out, but evidently forgot to wear them. So I'll be spending the next few days trying to remove the ink from my hands. I hope you have fun with your alcohol inks. Do drop us a comment in the comment section below. Until next time, happy crafting!